Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the Long Term Podcast. I'm your host, Admin Villa. Today, we have one of my best friends who recently just passed her NCLEX, and she worked extremely hard for it, and I'm very proud of her, Ireland Ferguson. It's going to be no structure, and yeah, we're just going to have a conversation, and Ireland's one of those people that just somehow uplifts people all around her. I don't know how she does it, but yeah, it's going to be all out laughs, and I am very excited for this conversation. This is a part 2. If you guys haven't seen the first episode with Ireland, just scroll down wherever you are, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. You'll see it. But yeah, that one is also an amazing episode, and yeah, welcome everyone. I am excited to have this conversation with Ireland, and yeah, you guys enjoy.
It's Fergalicious. That's what, well, I don't know. That's what I was called in soccer originally. And then Mason kind of started calling me that. And then, my friends sang Fergalicious for me my last birthday.
Really?
They just, changed it to, Fergie-licious.
Fergie-licious. I love that.
It's just pretty funny.
So I'm trying to... What the... How do I...
What did
God.
you do? Oh, bro, you're like
fucking life's gone to shit.
What is happening over here?
That's so bad.
What? That's right.
Yeah, it's wrapped around.
Damn, admin.
There
Not
we
taking
go.
care of your stuff.
What'd you work out today?
Legs. It was a killer
Legs,
workout. I pushed a sled. It was
The sled?
the sled
Good
with the
Life?
weight on it.
Millennium?
No, Good Life, bro. I'm a Good Life girl. Sorry.
Why don't you go to Millennium? It's much better there.
No, it's not.
Where
No, hey,
there's
Tempe,
too
though.
many men.
It's just too many children. Also, too many people I know. When I go to Good Life, I know nobody. It's great. Well, actually,
That's fair.
I know a few, but
No, I like going to the gym when there's people that I know.
that's
that
because you talk to everybody.
Why don't? But I feel like that's more women. They just want to be left alone.
No, if I see people I know, I will chat with them. Like me and Sam, I saw the other day, we talked for 30 minutes at the gym, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go.
It's more like a time conservation type thing.
It just depends on my mood. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anybody.
Fair. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, welcome to the Long Term Podcast.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. This is part 2. And yeah, let's talk about the NCLEX.
You did say it right. Good
Did I
job.
say it right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's like the MCAT for nurses.
I thought you were
right?
going to say for nerds for a minute.
For
I was
nerds.
like, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, no, you worked so hard for that. Very extremely proud of you.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's done.
How does it feel?
The biggest, when I read that I got I passed, that was the biggest weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 4 years.
Describe the feeling.
I told you you stop saying okay, so I studied for a month and a half, right? It's 2 months. And then you go and you write the test, and the whole day you're just on edge. You have no idea how it went after you write it. That's what most people I've talked to also felt. And then the next morning you get the email at 7 a.m. So I woke up at 7:01, and I checked it, and it's just such a, it feels like you can actually breathe, because it's 4 years of nursing, working up to this one point, and then you finally get there, and then you pass, and you're like, oh, okay, I can, I did it.
Relax.
I made,
Yeah,
I made
you
it.
read that, and after years of just dedication, those late nights, those bad marks, those good marks, and all just came to this.
Get degrees. Yeah.
And then is it hard? Is there a lot of people that fail the NCLEX?
I don't actually know the pass rate. Everyone I know that took it passed it, but I don't know I think you know a lot more than you think you do going into it. It just feels like there's so much to know, and there's so many medications and so much diagnosis, so much things to know, but you do know more than you think you know going into it. So you just kind of have to trust yourself, trust your gut, and yeah.
And now you're a full-fledged nurse, registered nurse.
Registered nurse. Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah. So which is there a field that you get to choose? Do you decide that before or after? Because I know you chose Emerge.
for my
right?
preceptorship. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can basically decide where you want to work. You just apply to jobs. And a lot of people went where their preceptorship was. Obviously, mine was in Cold Lake.
What's a preceptorship?
Oh, like your final clinical for school. It's like you get to pick that last clinical and you spend like 10 weeks doing it. And then a lot of people will work there after they graduate and pass the NCLEX and stuff. But mine was in Cold Lake, so I don't really want to move to Cold Lake.
Yeah, fair.
So I just applied when I was studying for the NCLEX. I applied and I actually got a job at an emerge here in Edmonton. So I start there in a week. So
that is amazing. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're full on adult now.
It's gross. Yeah. I'm like big girl job.
I'm still a child.
That's what I feel.
I'm still a baby. Podcasting and running. Like I don't really have a job.
Running.
You know?
Oh, actually, okay, let's segue to the running.
Yeah.
125 kilometers.
Yeah. I mean, the attempt was 160, but...
Okay, but 125 is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you so much. We raised $1,200.
Let's go. Heyo,
$1,200, yeah, for the Canadian Mental Health Association.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I've never had to use a nonprofit organization that deals with mental health, so I didn't really know which organization to choose, but I do believe it's needed in today's society because there's a lot of people out there that don't have family or friends, and then like nonprofits like the CMHA, they're a great organization. From what I've heard from the people that I've asked, they are a credible organization that does help people in need. They can just go to people who are suicidal, depressed, anxious. But yeah, as I was running, I'm thinking about these people. I'm like, oh no, because like near the end, Ireland, I'm like, please stop, please. But like, I can't let the people down.
Even when I saw you, like when I met you at, I think you were at 46 kilometers at that point. Yeah. You were like, Ireland, like I'm hurting.
No,
like
I was messed up. Like I don't, I normally wouldn't feel that sore after a 40K, 50K. But
like it's no big deal.
Yeah, I think it was the shoes.
No biggie. I bought was it new shoes?
Yeah, from the running room.
That. You gotta break them in first.
I returned them the next day.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm like, this is the reason why I couldn't finish on 60.
No, it was definitely
I'm pretty sure.
Because it also rained that day.
It did.
It was wild. You were like running. I'm like looking outside. It's like windy, rainy, cold. I'm like, oh, he's still running in that.
Yeah, no, I texted Mason because she's like, oh, give me your tell me where you're at. So I can drive past you because she just gotten back to Sherwood Park, and then I'm like, I was just really busy, and I'm like, meet me somewhere, Mason, run with me, and then she said she can't because she's babysitting or something. Yeah,
she did tell me, she was like, Ivan, it's like I think at that point it was like 1 a.m. and rainy, and she was like, I'm
really
going to
late. It was really late, but yeah, I didn't expect her to come. But it's just like it's really hard texting people when you're running and trying to stay focused, and I think that's probably what took on a lot of my energy too, is I was trying to coordinate with people and where to meet and this and that. Like we didn't know, we coordinated days before, but we didn't know where, right?
Like
or exactly when, or we established a time, but we weren't really too specific.
Know where you would be.
Yeah. But yeah, no, thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
like,
no problem.
Yeah, no, that was really fun actually.
I had a great time.
It's amazing. I want to, hopefully maybe next time it's more official, like actually.
I feel like if you had like a route and then people met you at
and a shirt and actually a month in advance planning and like my colors were matched. I had the white shirts or white tank top and then the kind of I forget what color, like teal.
I didn't even notice the fit. It was good though.
Yeah, but it matched the colors for the CMHA.
Smart.
But
smart,
yeah,
on par.
I just think running's so beautiful, Ireland. Like I don't know, like. You coming to the running club on Sunday? It's a 3K. It's a 3K.
3K? Oh, I thought you guys did way more.
No. It's just
to do 3K.
Yeah,
I did 5K.
3K, and then it's like when people get really intimidated when I ask them. They're like, "I'm not doing a 10K."
I run like slow. Like
yeah,
I run
it's
like
okay. Like really slow.
Like real slow.
Yeah, like snail level, like turtle
okay,
level.
not that slow.
Yeah.
Me and Mason will be pulling up at the back, and so we're gonna be way ahead. So how did you prepare for the run? Because like you did 100 kilometers before, right? So how did you prepare to go another 60?
I actually don't prepare that much. I just
you're just that good.
I don't typically take rest days at all. So like, because I just enjoy going to the gym and going to putting 200 floors or 5 kilometers pretty much every day. And yeah, I don't have like a routine in place. Like, oh, I'm going to hit this much or this kilometers. I just go, okay, I feel like putting a 40K today. Let's go. Or I feel like putting a 50. Like it's really random.
Yeah.
And
that's why
I never really, I don't really build up to that 100K. I just kind of, okay, maybe I'll put in a 60 this day or like an 80, or maybe we'll just do a 10 today. Depends on how the body feels. But I find that I can just will myself to do that 100 or like the 160. And yeah, I should have prepared better. But yeah, it's worked for me thus far, except for the recent one.
Mm-hmm. So how would you prepare differently now? Like knowing what you did running the...
No one, definitely try out shoes. The shoes. Don't go on my phone as much because I was on my phone way too much. Plan out the routes with people. Plan it out a month in advance because that entire event was a week in planning.
Yeah, that was very like...
Yeah, that was but
it came together very well for like a week.
It did come together.
It was very last
it was
minute.
Very like... But yeah, next time around. Would you ever run a marathon? I know I've asked you many times, but give me a different response this time.
Okay, I think I would run a marathon.
What's that?
I think I would run a marathon. Maybe start with a half marathon at first.
How about this August?
In like, wait, where's the marathon?
Months. Edmonton.
I'd rather run in the mountains.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's one in Banff.
Oh, so we go to Banff and run a marathon?
Yeah, we go to Banff.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, get Mason on the
This is a full
Morgan.
marathon?
You could do a half.
Can we do a half marathon?
Yeah.
Let's baby steps. Let's start.
Baby steps. I say I'm a firm believer that anyone could do a marathon. Anyone. Really, it's all just mindset. Right?
Okay, but also if you have zero like running training.
Okay, if you have zero, but if you're like you go to the gym and you're on your feet a bunch, I mean you did your clinical, you're walking around a bunch. If you do that, you can. Like knowing you, I know you could do it. I know you could do it. Maybe you won't be running the whole time, but I know you, Ireland Ferguson, could do it.
Stop name drops.
I signed you up already.
Oh, okay, perfect. Did you pay for it? I feel like I definitely could do a half marathon. I don't know, but a full marathon. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-mm. It sounds like a lot, but it's not really.
Okay, maybe for someone who does 60 kilometers just willy-nilly when they want.
It's progressive overload. Like I think think about like the first time you wrote like your first year in nursing.
Ugh.
Right? It was like really tough, but then your fourth year, eventually you just nailed down the study habits. You nailed down what to do, what not to do.
Yeah,
Same thing applies for running, except it's just more physical, less brain power. Or
yeah,
I don't know. It's just with the same endeavor. You apply. You take one discipline where you've succeeded at and you just apply it with marathons, right? Or even podcasting, right? I applied the same thing with working out and just, yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, how would we do a half marathon? We'll start with that and then we'll work our way up.
Half?
Yeah.
Actually though, like you're going to sign up? Like actually?
How much are they?
Like to sign up?
Yeah.
$100.
Okay. Oh, nothing. For someone who's not working this very moment, but okay.
But you'll be making bank soon.
Ask me in a week when I start working. Okay, so did you need crutches the day after your 125 minutes? 25 kilometers?
I wanted crutches. There was just no crutches around. So I was limping and I was just going, like I got it. I was actually dreading getting up. Like I called in broken yesterday.
I'm so glad
I phone him up and I'm like, my body's broken. Like literally, I cannot walk there. Like, yeah,
they're like,
everybody at work's been supportive and they've been
good.
Yeah, they've been all right.
So they know. Yeah, I was a little concerned for you, to be quite honest. Like when it hit 2 a.m. when you're still running, I was like, man, you need to go to bed.
No, you've been very supportive though, so thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, do you have any projects in line now that you're a nurse? Do you have any other goals in mind? I know you're going to BC. That's kind of your goal later on.
Hopefully this summer, I want to go visit my sister in BC.
But like live there.
Oh yeah, that's the end goal, is to live in BC.
But you're gonna miss everyone from Sherwood Park.
I'll come visit. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you can come visit me. BC's like better. Yeah. Sorry to Alberta, but
flights aren't that expensive too. Hey,
no.
Like $100. $100.
Swoop. Do you know? You've heard of Swoop? They're
I
like
haven't
gone
heard of
now.
Swoop.
Okay, they were like I want to say they were. I don't remember who they were, but it was like a small airline company, and I would always fly with them to go to visit my sister, and it was like the cheapest flight. I found a flight for $20 one day. $20 for a flight.
Is that legal?
Isn't maybe not?
I guess
but
people cancel, right? And they need to get that booked as soon as possible. It's like an app. Swoop.
yeah, it's just like WestJet or like Fly or whatever. But it's gone now. They took it, which is unfortunate. They got rid of it.
Probably illegal. $20.
They probably made no money.
Or that, yeah.
But so yeah, honestly, like it can be cheap. You just have to kind of. Also, I take like the most random flights. Like I'll fly in at 1 a.m. Like I don't really care as long as my sister can pick me up. Well, yeah, if it's gonna be $50 cheaper, like
it's only an hour.
Like an hour and a half ish flight.
What makes you want to move to BC?
Probably I feel like it's just my happy place. Like every time I'm there, like where my sister lives, you drive down the road like I don't know 5 minutes, and there's like 3 waterfalls. Like I would love to live in a place where I can just like after a shift, Edmonton's got a lot of great stuff, but I would rather go after a shift and like hike a waterfall or like, my days off be like so close to that. So
have you been there for like an extensive amount of time though? Like actually be there for the winters, the summer, springs, like all the seasons?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say like long periods of time, but I've been there like November break, and then I went in like February a few years ago, and then I've been in the summer, of course, in the spring. So I know like it's very rainy there, and like
okay, because when you say your happy place, maybe it's coincidental because you only go during the times where you're free and there's less stress, right? Because have you taken that into account? Because maybe when you actually go there, live there a full year, you'll find that maybe it just ends up like being like Sherwood Park or Edmonton. Because when you go there, it's the times where the weather isn't as crappy and you are spending quality time and it's purposeful versus when you actually live there. Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, actually. Not until like a little while ago, but someone did bring that up to me and I was like, oh, that is a good point. Like I have been there with crappy weather, but you are right. Like when I go there, I'm on vacation. I don't go there to like work or like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So what I would love to do is like go to BC for like 6 months and like work and see if I even like it. Because if I don't, then there's no point in like moving there.
Maybe
obviously.
a year, because 6 months that I feel like that wouldn't be enough time. Like 6 months that's
really I feel
2
like,
seasons.
Okay, yeah, true. But I guess I feel like the seasons is not what would bug me. It would be more like do I like the environment? Like
the people?
Yeah,
the people are drastically different from BC and Sherwood Park
sure.
even. Like Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Like I'm like when I talk to Edmontonians, I'm like scared.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
It is different though. It is very different. And I mean, there's lots of like areas in BC I could go, but I also do think like when I'm in BC, I'm doing like fun stuff, right? Like I'm, going to like the Tulip Festival or I'm going like hiking all the time. Whereas like if I lived there, obviously like stuff would have to, like I wouldn't just be doing that 24/7, right? So I don't know. It might not be my favorite place. Maybe I'll move to Ireland. Who knows,
Have you ever been to Ireland?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long did you stay there for?
When did we go? 2016, I think.
I know I brought this up. You're not Irish. You're actually Scottish, right?
Yes, I'm Scottish.
Why is your name Ireland?
It's false.
Yeah.
There's like no huge reason. They just like the name.
I just remember in middle school, we went to middle school with Tyler. You would always go, Ireland. Why is your name Ireland when you're not Irish?
I
You're
think I got
Scottish.
asked that like 15. Like
I don't know why I just remember that.
I do remember that. That was like the only thing he would say to me. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I also remember you just had awful writing. No, and then everybody would make fun of you for having chicken scratch writing.
My name sucks. You're right.
I'm sorry, but I have to tell the truth.
No, don't tell. It's actually awful. Like it's chicken scratch.
Has it gone better?
No.
Really?
Okay, here's the thing. Well, okay, maybe it's going a little better. Like I can read my writing. I can read my writing very well. I know what I'm saying. Yeah. My mom can read my writing. Show it to her.
Wow.
But no, it's chicken scratch, and I've been told by many teachers it's chicken scratch. Thank you for this.
Have you ever been insecure about that? No.
No.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't know if someone wants to read my writing, then they have to put in the effort. I guess.
Okay,
Like if I'm writing like a card for somebody else or something nice, I will take my time and make it very neat.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I'm writing like notes, I feel like that's most of the time people see my writing. It's like scratchy and messy as hell because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I can read it.
I recently just got back from the trip from Australia to see my half sisters,
When did you go to
half
Australia?
Australian. In Feb, remember?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
right. I
Okay, so
thought
I
you meant
wrote
like
them-
recently. I was like,
That's another story. I wrote
Okay.
them the stories
Yeah.
of or like little letters, goodbye letters, and they read it to me before I left to go back to Canada, and like it was really wholesome, and I put in a lot of work, but they kept like trying like, "Hey, what does this say? What does this say?" I'm like,
maybe you have that.
no,
writing.
exactly.
Wait a minute, let's
No,
back
exactly.
up.
So that made me like
Insecure.
really insecure. I'm like, do I actually?
You just
have
gotta not be
chicken
insecure. It's your
scratch?
writing.
No, really. And I'm like, man, how does Ireland feel?
So, well, did they ever comment on your writing? You commented on my writing all the time. 'Cause we were in chem together. And
I remember.
I remember Fedorchuk Short. Do you remember her, the math teacher?
Yeah.
She commented on my writing a lot, and so did Nate. And he was like,
Mm.
this is not English. Ireland.
No, really, Mr. Nate.
Yeah.
That
Shout out to
is
Mr. Nate.
confidence right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of teachers, Mr. Boyan and I are
Isn't he coming on?
have scheduled a podcast on Friday next week.
Oh, that's exciting. What are you guys
Yeah.
going to talk about?
We're gonna talk about his experience with teaching after decades.
Fair.
Yeah.
I know like my mom, she kind of helps us with stuff at like, he's still at St. T's, right?
He has
Did he move?
retired, but he still subs, and we're actually gonna talk about that.
Oh,
Why that is.
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
I won't ask for questions. But like every time we would go there, because my sisters have had him, and I had him for one class. But he'd always be like, "Oh, I'm retiring." Like, and the next year, my mom would go there, and I'd be with her, and he'd still be there, and we were like, "How are you still here?"
He loves
So,
teaching.
He's a legend, honestly. So
No,
I'm
he
excited
loves his
to hear.
students.
He
I
does.
see him all the time at Millennium, and that's actually how we kind of coordinated this and kind of how
Oh.
it all happened. Because we were talking, and apparently he had come across the podcast and
Oh.
seen the different students with like Alyssa,
Aw.
you, and Jordan,
That's actually
and
sweet.
he's taken a listen. And
Yeah.
no, I was really, really happy to hear that. And then just after talking, every time I see him there, like, hey, why don't you come on?
You just
And
gotta
then
keep
and
asking.
then he told me he'll take some time to think about it, and then eventually he budged, and now we've got it scheduled next week.
That's so exciting, actually.
I'm very
I can't-
excited.
I can't wait to
Very
hear it.
excited. But yeah, do you miss middle school?
Pardon?
Do you miss middle school?
No.
No.
No, I don't know. I feel like middle school is just like you're like halfway to being an adult. Like, so you have like you're trying to get more responsibility, but also I feel like you're very limited in what you can do. I don't know. I like my life now, so I would say no.
I think middle school is the peak of my life.
Oh, should we unpack that?
No, I'm
I don't
kidding,
think so.
I'm
Middle
kidding.
school admin could not run 125 kilometers, to be fair.
Okay, I just felt like back then as a kid, there was just no responsibility. I just ate ice cream till like 2 a.m., played video games, and just the worst things were like, where am I gonna hang out on Friday? Like what my costume's gonna be.
Oh my gosh.
But then again, the no responsibilities, being naive. It's just as you grow every single year, there's just more responsibility, right? More bills, more just tasks to do. You learn more, and you just, I think it's beautiful though. That phase was just, I'm thankful for that phase. But then, we're here now.
No, I do agree. I do like miss the no responsibility. That was like, even the other day when we were like running, we were talking about like in high school how like baseline dawns used to be like the place to hang out. Like, all this stuff. Like, I feel like, like it's important and it's like a good phase of your life, but it's kind of nice, I think, to be like grown up from that phase and kind of like figure out which way you want your life to go now.
Yeah, and while the phases that were deemed acceptable at that point, and they're cool, now it wouldn't be so cool. Like the people that still play video games 24/7 and just like are on Snap 24/7 with those aren't cool anymore. But in high school, like vaping was cool. You never vaped, but I know I was a vape god. But you never vaped. You never even took a hit.
Only a few times.
Yeah.
But like it killed my lungs.
Yeah. No, I was hitting those Nick salts,
I do
whatever.
remember in
like,
chem class, you would
in
always
chem
like
class, you
you'd
guys
put up
just-
your textbook and you'd like
You guys found it so funny. You guys egged me on.
So entertaining because Mr. Knight would never notice. But
That was so dumb. Like, why did I do that?
I don't know. But I feel like vaping was such a thing. Even now, so people vape. Like,
no, people are
times,
still
but
addicted. It's tough. But like,
It's tough.
it's not cool anymore. You know, like when you have a nicotine addiction.
It's more just like your lungs. Like I'm like,
yeah, it's like how
your
much
poor
more,
lungs, bro.
how much more can your lungs take?
Pardon?
Yeah, like there's
I thought you said Morgan. I'm like Morgan. Doesn't
Morgan.
vape.
No, I said how
Morgan's
much more
like the
can your
healthiest
lungs
person I know.
take? No, I think Morgan's vaped probably like twice, eh? Like I remember her telling me she vaped for the
Probably, like,
first time in like
I
chem.
feel like everyone did in high school. I think
Yeah.
you passed yours around and everyone took a hit.
Yeah, no,
That class was
vaping
wild.
is
I don't
definitely.
think I learned any chem in that class at all.
Yeah, we fooled around a lot.
Yeah,
but
that class was. Did you
How's
go to
it-
Chem 30? Were you in Chem 30 with us?
I don't think I was in Chem 30
No.
with you guys.
I got a concussion, so I
different.
didn't have to do the diploma. But
Really?
yeah,
You got to skip the diploma because you got a concussion?
yeah, bro. I was up for like 3 months. That was the worst concussion I've ever had.
Really? What's that like?
Awful. I've had 3 before, and they're just like,
Really? What
Yeah.
happened?
first one, I was a kid riding a bike, and I don't know what I did, but I don't remember it. But my parents told me I somehow fell into the ditch, and then my helmet cracked open. Not my head though.
Wow,
Not my
your
head though.
Thank
My helmet.
goodness you were wearing a helmet.
I know. And then the second one,
There'd be no Ireland today. if you were- yeah.
no, Ireland Ferguson. And then the second one, I think, I hit someone's head in soccer. Like we collided heads, and I went down, and I was fine. The day up, I was like, oh, whatever. And then the next day, it was really bad. And then I don't even remember what my third one was. I hit my head on something so silly that I didn't think anything of it. But I had such bad headaches and migraines for 3 months after that.
It's
So
fascinating to realize that the human mind, the brain is so fragile.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's so tough, but it's also so fragile. At the same
Yeah,
time.
the body, just everything about us is so resilient, but we're actually so weak as well.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
weak, guys.
isn't that crazy? Isn't that
I'm
crazy?
just calling you all weak.
Yeah, no,
no,
little-
I'm just kidding. I get what
A little paper cut, right? Can depending on which spot can make us bleed
Oh,
out to
paper
death.
cuts hurt so bad,
Yeah, no,
I
they
don't know
do.
why, they hurt.
The pain. It's just, especially when you get it in your fingertips, eh?
right?
Yeah.
What about you? Have you ever broken anything?
My pinky. I
Oof.
was playing football in elementary, and look, it's kind of deformed,
Oh,
You
it
see that?
is. It's like bed
like
funny.
pregnant.
It's
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, it kind of does have a
It's like
got
the
a little
overgrowth in bone. That's like
mass on the side.
I don't know if you
there.
learned this in nursing, but when you break the bone, if you don't put a cast on it, it'll grow over.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's not set back to.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know your pinky was like that.
Yeah, now you do.
Good to know.
Yeah, no, I remember coming back from this injury, and my dad just told me, "Hey, suck it up, it'll heal." I'm like, "Please, please, please!" But then they're like, "Whoa, it's grown
Wait a
weird."
minute, it didn't
yeah,
heal.
and then so a month later, they brought me to the doctor, and the doctor told us that I had 2 options: to just let it stay like that, and it's not going to provide any problems, or go through surgery to tear this bone right here. And then I was playing guitar, so I didn't really want to mess up my fingers.
Okay, Ken.
But, I'm fine now. It's just a little bone
Can you
growth.
bend it fine and everything?
Yeah, it's fine. I can bend it
interesting.
fine.
Oh, it just looks
Yeah.
funky.
Yeah, it
Okay,
just looks
fair enough.
weird. It's just a cosmetic issue.
Well, I
Honestly.
feel like that's your pinky. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just a pinky.
It's just no big deal. It doesn't even matter.
I can cut this off. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Bet.
Yeah. Would you is there any other projects or what's that called? Any other jobs that you would want to do aside from nursing? Any side hustles that you want to start on?
That is such a good question. I feel like I've just been so focused on trying to pass everything and finally get into the career of nursing that I've never really thought about. I would love to do I like Emerge so much, but I would love to do IV nursing, IV infusions. That would be.
And this would be like a side hustle.
Yeah, I work at a clinic. Oh, wow, you mean something different than nursing?
But no, it could be nursing itself, but I'm talking a different. No, yeah, different from Emerge.
Yeah, just a.
Yeah, it could be about nursing too.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I can't imagine myself doing anything other than nursing. probably, I would say, just because I don't know. I feel like it's been my life the last like 4 years, and I like it. But obviously, I don't know if something else, like if an opportunity presented itself, maybe I'd try it like on top of nursing and see. But I don't think I'm starting any businesses
That's still
anytime
young
soon.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You never know.
But
What about you, Advin? We never talked about you. What's the dream in life?
That's a dream in my life.
Yeah. Where do you want to end up?
I want to have a solid family. I think I want to be a great dad. And I want to be rich as fuck.
I was waiting for the last one. No, honestly, same. Definitely the last one.
I want to keep coordinating events, and I want to keep just talking to people. Like my life right now, I'm very, very content. Like I push myself every single day, mentally, physically, spiritually. And if I keep going at this pace, as long as I don't die, I know I'll end up.
Wood.
I know I'll end up somewhere good. And
Yeah.
the objectives where I want to end up are, I don't know, see where this passion takes me, and I know it's gonna lead to good relationships. Like even right now, like our friendship, it's because I've done a lot of mental work, read a lot of books, and just seen like who's good for me, like which people resonate with my values, which people actually care, who are compassionate. And that's like you, Severio, my friend Ethan Yonke, Jeff G, like the people, you get answers just from living your life as best as you can. And it's never going to be perfect. But yeah, I derive a lot of meaning and purpose just from living every day, because tomorrow is never going to be tomorrow. It's going to be now. You know what I mean? Like I think we can plan for years on ahead.
Yes.
But it's never
really
it's never gonna come, because when that time comes, it's gonna be now. So right now, what can I do right now? And I think it's to have a podcast, to study for this test, to push myself. How can I be as happy as I possibly can for right now? And then I also think about my future self. Like I give compassion to my future self. Like tomorrow, what's tomorrow Advent just gonna feel like? What am I gonna regret? If I cancel, like today I was immensely tired, like really tired. I was like, immensely.
Were you going to cancel on me, Advin?
I never cancel. I've never canceled a single podcast.
Really?
I've never canceled a single work, or maybe I've canceled on the top of my fingers, but that's in my breaking point. Okay.
Yeah.
I will, if I say something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay,
no matter how tired I am.
Do you ever give yourself grace then? Because I feel like I would be so tired sometimes that to constantly push myself, I would burn out. So have you hit a burnout ever?
Yeah, but then I just put it on overdrive.
No rest days.
When I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh gosh, like there's a lot of kilometers, a lot of podcasts, so much studying, work, family, social life. I just go, okay, let's go. Next.
Let's go.
Let's go next. Yeah. And I think I never regret it though. Like I do hit burnout a lot, but I never let it go on for too long, because I just go take action for the next.
But you don't take like rest days, or like you don't.
I don't take rest days.
Breaks. Like the day after your race, I'm like, oh, okay.
I wanted to hit the gym, but
you also were like editing stuff.
Yeah, I was. I edited a podcast with
you never
my
feel
boy
like
Renton.
You're just like, you just need a minute to like, I don't know, like for yourself, like for you.
I mean, that is for me. Like working out is for me, or listening to podcasts, doing podcasts. But I don't know, it just gives me so much meaning, because I feel like my time here on earth is finite, and I think I could make it. Like I think I could make this podcast work. I think I could make running work. I could make school work and family work all at the same time, because I see people like Jamie Foxx, like Joe Rogan, like all these high achievers, like do everything. And I'm like, what do they do? And so I listen to them. I listen to podcasts with them. I listen to interviews with them. What do? They don't stop. And I listen to the way they speak, and the way they enunciate certain words, and the way their mindset works, and how they put events in their lives together, and they plan certain things, and what sort of values they have. And I go, okay, I'm going to extract that from The Rock. I'm going to extract that from Kevin Hart. I'm going to extract that from Lady Gaga, from Adele.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, well, what about you? I mean, for 4 or 5 years now, you have dedicated your life, or would that be an understatement? Dedication to
I
nursing?
feel like it was like a dedication of most of my life to
Yeah, so
not all of it, but most of my days were.
you had told me that you had wanted to quit,
Yes,
but you didn't. Now, what
did not.
made you stay?
The fear of regretting it, I think, was like the biggest thing, because I was like, what if I drop out now and then like I regret it? Like I would end up loving it. Like I didn't want to leave it and be like, well, what if, because like second year, sorry, was like the first like time we were actually like fully in the hospital and like fully doing stuff. And that's when I was going to drop out, but I didn't want to drop out and be like, oh my gosh, what if, you never know what could happen. And then I talked to my dad, as we like talked about last time, and he was like, just stay for the semester. You never know. And I think that kind of pushed me to stay, like both those things. And then I ended up loving it. So
Had you not talked to your dad, do you think you would have quit? I don't think you would have.
I think I'd have been too scared to quit, because I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I didn't want to throw away like the first like year, of like my degree and stuff. But I don't know. It was like COVID, and it was, like you couldn't really see people, and we were in the hospital like on COVID units, and it was like, obviously it was like devastating. People were like passing away a lot and stuff. And I think it was just so much that I was just like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. But I don't know if I would have, like, I don't actually know if I would have completely dropped out. I think I would have gone through the semester and then I would have dropped out if I hadn't liked it, but I ended up loving it. So
I think maybe what would have happened if your dad wasn't there to encourage you, maybe you would have dropped out, but you would have come back.
True.
Like knowing you, I think you would have come back stronger, better, faster.
Faster.
That's a good song.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Did you always want to be a nurse? Like I know since kindergarten, right?
No. Oh God, no. No, I never wanted to be a nurse when I was younger at all. I wanted to work with people, and I loved like biology. So I wanted to be a physiotherapist because I loved sports. But I shadowed someone, and I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me. And I used to hate blood. Like I used to not like any of that stuff. Like any kind of trauma, I was like, ew, yuck. Like get that away from me, Disgusting. Yuck. And then I don't know when it shifted, to be honest, but in I think grade 11, I started thinking about like what I wanted to do, right? And one of my friends was going into nursing, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know, maybe I like that. So I kind of ended up applying like on a whim, honestly. And then like, thank God, like got in, and then ended up like loving it when I was in it. But before I went in, I was like, well, we'll see.
No, you just love blood.
Okay, I don't know. I love blood. But trauma, I'm like, let's go. That's my shit. So I don't know what shifted, but
what about
you sound like I'm crazy.
What about like poking other people with needles? Is that have you done that?
Like IVs or like given needles, like given injections? Like putting an IV.
What's the difference?
Like putting an IV is like one that stays in, and then and then we like use, and I could put stuff through the IV. Whereas like if you give them like a subcutaneous like injection, then it's just like a pain
you've
shot.
Done both?
Yeah.
Wow. What is that like?
This might sound really messed up, but like when you get the IV, because my IVs like can be hard to do if people have like really bad veins. So when you get one on someone with really bad veins, it's like very like, oh my God, yes, like very satisfying. Because you're like, yeah, I got it. Which sounds maybe weird, but if anyone's nurse out there, you get it.
Yeah.
It just like feels good, And then like the injections, we did that like second year. So that's just been like something that I've just been used to doing. That's like second nature to me now.
Wow. What have you ever had a patient that was just terrified and you're trying to calm down, little buddy?
Yeah.
Grab him by the neck. No.
It's fine. No. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you have to be like really calm, hey? Because if you're the one freaking out too, like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Can you imagine you're trying to do someone's like IV, and you're like, no, it's fine, like shaking. I have had one patient who was like, she terrified of needles, like had to get an IV, like did not want any of that. And I think it was like my 4th time doing an IV, and I was just like, and it was like the unit was like very chill, like no one. So I just grabbed another nurse because she was like literally so stressed, and she kept asking me like, "Is this your first time?" And I was like, "It's my third time," but like my fourth time. But like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm just not even gonna do it on her. Like, so you know what I mean? But now I feel like I obviously having gone through preceptorship, like I'd feel more confident. But I feel like you just kind of just stay calm because they're like so amped up, you know. So you want to help bring them down so you can help them.
I could never be a nurse because I would just joke around too much. Like,
Okay, but you have to joke around.
Yeah,
that is honestly how I get people to
too
like.
Far, like little Timmy's is gonna hurt real bad.
Okay, well, I would never say this to anybody ever.
And then you got like you're trying
like
to make it look at the lighting, like make it look as this is real long.
Dang, this is very no.
I don't know if this is the right one.
Yeah, so see, that's something I would never say.
Marilyn, which one is this?
Wait, did I put in the right place?
Which tube? You're acting all confused.
No. But
you're not allowed to do that, eh? Like looking all confused in front of the patient.
I personally wouldn't because I feel like it would just stress them out more. But you have to joke around. Like joking, I feel like because everyone who comes into, especially the emerge, like you are not there for fun. You are not having a good time, obviously. So if, you know, I'm not a huge jokester or anything, but you know, if I can make like a few jokes, I feel like they can like laugh and then they're like calmer, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Yeah. But it has to flow though. Like no forced jokes.
No,
like,
and sometimes people
making,
just
like,
don't
knock jokes.
Knock. I like walking. Knock. They're like in pain. Like get out. I have had a few people like. This person was just like they were in so much pain, and I understand that. And we were doing everything we could at that point. We'd done everything, but we were waiting for like results to come back and stuff. So we kind of just were like having to like wait to help them, like more because we didn't know what's going on. And so I was like trying to joke with them, and they were like just, which is so fair,
like,
not having it, deadpan. And they literally like looked at me like get, and I was like, okay, have it, like be back, like let me know if you did anything, which is so fair. Which is so fair.
Yeah, Ireland, they're like, get out. I'm in so much pain.
Which is fair, you know.
Would you ever be a cop?
Pardon?
A cop. You could still be a cop.
Oh my god, I could never be a cop.
No, there's
too
still,
many
like,
rules to
there's
know.
still time. I mean, like you'd probably get on easy. I mean, they would look for people that actually have like full-time jobs, right? The RCMP.
Really?
I think that's how it is.
But I feel like that has to be. I would never want to be a cop.
Tests and stuff.
I couldn't do it. Like like me running into like a house that's like dark and like that's like my like no.
Like Sherwood Park, cop in Sherwood Park.
Still no, I don't like anything creepy. I don't like anything like none of that. No.
What about firefighter? In the fire.
I mean more because at least I'd be like. But I feel like I'm like do you see how like jacked they are? Like how much they have to like be able to like lift and like carry? Yeah.
Are they jacked?
Yeah. I feel like they all are.
Okay,
like you have to carry people out of burning houses, and I feel like I'm not quite there yet. So
they are jacked. I'm remembering some firefighters that have met. Yeah.
It's
the cops that aren't.
No, hate to the cops. Some of them are strong. I also would not
there's
want
all
to get
different shapes and sizes, but like in general.
It's very
general.
right. I also you have to be I think it's to be a cop. Maybe it's an RCMP. Well, you have to get tased and and pepper spray, and like that's just not.
Yeah, and you have to undergo the pepper spray. I know Tegan Pasitny. Yes, she just went through that.
Congrats, Tegan. Good job.
Yeah, congratulations, Tegan.
That's amazing. Yeah. I couldn't. I actually feel like I would run away every time. Like I just could not.
I wonder what that feels like. It's got to have like long-term consequences, eh?
I feel like doing it once would not have long-term consequences. It would freaking hurt though.
Yeah. What about bear spray? Wouldn't that just blind you?
I don't think maybe it'd blind you like temporarily.
Jeez. Can't imagine that. That'd be the scariest thing. Not being able to see. Like opening your eyes and just seeing all black.
Like that's just like no, that's just not something I would. We had to get these we have to get like masks fit tested for like N95 masks, and they do like a test to see what size you are. So they put like this like huge shield on you, and then they like kind of put a mask on you, and then they like spray this like disgusting stuff in it. And if you can like taste it at all, then it doesn't fit. And usually it does fit, so it's not a problem. But I went to one where like you could taste it all, and I was literally like choking on it, like sitting on the. So I imagine bear spray is even worse. So
they spray something on you that you put on the N95.
Yeah, and then you have this like weird like astronaut helmet thingy on, and they like spray it like up the helmet thingy.
Okay, and if you can taste it, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. And it was like disgusting. So I feel like a bear spray is even worse than that.
Oh, you tasted yours.
Yeah, it was
yours didn't fit.
It was disgusting.
Wow.
So I would not want to. What about you? Would you be a fireman or a cop?
Thought about it, but I
Oh.
really value my sleep. Like I know I haven't been getting much sleep, but I just
Yeah.
feel like, like pulling Ireland Ferguson over for the 5th time after her speeding on Highway 21.
Whoa.
I feel like I'd be
You're
like,
just
like you'll probably like I'll pull you over and you're like, Edvin, we're friends and stuff. Ireland, I'm with the law. I'm a man of law.
With the law.
Here's the ticket. Ireland, get down.
Whoa,
Ireland,
hey.
leave that man alone.
What?
Boo, no,
who
I'm
am I
kidding.
attacking?
I'm kidding. You're not a
Whoa.
criminal.
No. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't.
No,
just-
you would.
I would not be a good. I wouldn't remember any of the things. I would like get. I would like if people got a ticket and they started like crying or like telling me about their life. I'd be like, have a good one. Like I just feel like I'm not like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean
no.
enough. Like I just.
Yeah, I feel like there's just that job requires a lot of stress or a high stress threshold, because you go through, like, if somebody's already having a bad day, you pull them over, and then it's just the bad interaction, and then you take that home with you,
Mhm.
and
But I
that's
think
just
that's like any also job that you're working with, like people
but with, like,
in general.
police officers, they already have like kind of a bad kind of rep, because a lot of people go, oh, especially with what's happened in the past, where there have been like those protests and all this. I don't want to go into the politics, but like right now, like the paradigm with the police force is just they have a bad reputation. Like, I do respect all of them for the job, and they provide us safety, and it's not easy. That occupation is
Mhm.
extremely hard, and like you work these weird hours too, from
Yeah.
what I've heard.
Like any shift work, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I do agree with like there's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I can be. What about a teacher? Would you ever be a teacher?
That could be a teacher.
Yeah. What would you teach? What would be your subject?
I'd probably teach. Yeah, I'd teach biology.
Really? I didn't know. What? Do you even like biology? Did you take
some
biology?
bio. I did take bio. Like,
Did you have
twice.
herpes?
I did have herpes.
the best.
She's great. She's amazing.
She's great.
Yeah, I'd teach language arts. I love writing.
Really? With your
Yeah.
messy writing? Hey, you love it?
These are my journals. Or right now I'm reading on my journal. If you're in my office, it's already too late.
A
divorce lawyer's guide to staying together.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Marriage is the number one like predictor of happiness. So I'm trying to ensure I choose the right partner. Okay? So I'm
Okay.
reading a lot of books with relationships.
Fair enough.
And I was just
Is
yeah,
it
this
messy? Is your journal? Is it
this
messy
is my
writing?
journal. I have a gratitude journal.
Oh, that's
And
important.
I've got, this is just 2024. Actually, sometimes what I do is I write about people, and I think I've written about you, and I
Ireland is a
make them
bitch.
read it. Yeah, this toxic mug. It's all positive for the most part.
Okay.
But yeah, no, journaling. I would love to teach language arts, and yeah, I like reading, and I feel like it's taught me a lot.
Mhm.
Do you journal or read at all?
I love reading. I read a lot, but I don't journal.
You read a lot?
I do read a lot.
Never discussed books.
Oh my god, that's because we read very different books. Like you're reading about divorce and
No,
relationships.
Okay, I read rom-coms too.
You
okay?
do? Oh my
I
god, why have
do.
we never talked about this?
I read a lot of romance thrillers.
Okay.
I read a lot of fiction, nonfiction, everything.
Oh my
If you
god.
I've read science fiction here and there.
Okay, fair.
What have you read?
Why
What's
have
your
we-
favorite book?
I've never talked about this. My favorite book? Oh god. I have so many favorites. I don't know. But I do read a lot of rom-coms. I love rom-coms. But like fantasy too. Like, you know, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like it blew up on TikTok a little while ago. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I'll have to read
Anyways,
that then.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I've heard that women like to read romance novels where the guy is either a werewolf, a billionaire, a pirate,
Twilight.
or I forget
A
the other two.
pirate. Okay.
But like the bad boys, you know?
I feel like
It gives you guys the thrill. Is that true? Like the werewolf, Twilight,
I don't
billionaire. I forget which.
I've
books
definitely read a
was
few
in it.
books about like billionaires. I don't know. I feel like every person is different, like what they like and stuff. Like I don't think I've read
But
a
in
book
general,
about a pirate. But I
they love
can't,
the
I can't
kind of.
generalize. Like I feel like everyone, like one girl I know reads like only like murder mysteries and the most like effed up books of like, and she loves that shit. Like she loves it, you know, and that's like her thing. And then I love like little rom-coms because I don't know. I feel like they're like a, you know, an escape from like, not that I don't escape my life, but it's like a nice little story, you know, you like to read. So I can't like generalize every woman because
Twilight.
I love watching Twilight. I've never read the books. I love Twilight. And you make fun of it and it's such a fun movie.
I've actually never made fun of people that have read or watched Twilight.
No, you make fun of the movie
because
itself.
it's the favorite. No, it's my favorite.
Oh, sorry.
I've watched the movies, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Like,
I love them, but they're
it
just,
was great.
You know, some of the things are like funny.
Team
like,
Edward, Team Jacob.
wait, let's talk about this actually. What are you first?
I like Jacob. Team Jacob.
I'm also Team Jacob.
Yeah, I just like the werewolf kind of. I don't like the vampire living forever.
No.
I just feel like morally, I don't think people should live forever. I think there needs to be a finite time. We're all in here. And that's just like if everybody lived forever, then why is Bella like? What are Bella and Edward? They're gonna eventually get divorced if they do get married. Because like,
not if they read your book.
they're gonna get sick of each other. You know.
I know. I feel like I don't know. I just like. Yeah, no, I have to agree. Like I'm Team Werewolf. Also, I don't know. I just feel like the whole like Edward's so dramatic on so many parts, and he should just communicate better. You know. So I don't know. I do love the movies though.
This is why my listeners, it's ticking up towards more females. No, really, like the males it's going down like slowly.
Really? Yeah, to the girls.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you keep talking about books, girls will be like book talk, everything, girls will be listening.
No, it's feel like guys, Edwin's talking about vulnerability again.
Well, they're probably the ones that should listen to it. No offense, but they're probably the ones that should be listening to it.
But I'm like, the guys need to get that vulnerability out of them. They need to talk about their feelings. You know, it's not, we can't just all be hard all the time. We need to have that soft side. That's why ever since I've watched Inside Out. Never seen the first one?
Yes, I just watched the second one.
You just watched the second one?
Yes, have you seen it?
I've seen the trailer, but I heard, I saw on Alyssa's story.
We'll chat after.
She said, on the captions, she put like, they told me to watch Inside Out 2, haha, and then she was like, the snap showed her crying. And I'm like, damn, that's like, I'm ready for that. I love crying at Disney movies.
No, it's so good.
Yeah, it feels so good. I probably cry, like Disney movies make me cry 60% of the time.
Just because they're so like sweet. And I did watch Inside Out like the first one the other day before I watched the second one, and I cried.
Yeah, because like the sadness, it's so true.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I have those little orbs, those little marble thingies in my psyche, like where I'm just so happy and sad at the same time, and they morph. Right,
and like when Bing Bong
Bing
basically dies.
Bing Bong.
Sorry, spoiler, but like that was old though. But like, oh my god, it's so sad. Like such a good movie though. I love that they take like a kids movie and it's like a funny, silly thing, but also they do talk about something that's like very important.
Yeah,
you know? And
I feel like when you're a kid watching that, you're able to internalize that sadness is a part of life. Like when you take that lesson away, sadness is a part of life, because this entire time they were just pushing sadness away. Like, oh, you're a killjoy. Like nobody wants you around here. But then without sadness, there can't be joy.
Exactly. You need both. And there needs to be times in life where you are sad. Like that's a part of life. You have to feel sadness to like, I feel like to get through something, you have to go through it and like feel it, all your emotions.
True.
And I love that and the second, there's like even more emotions. Oh, you have to watch it.
I saw the trailer and there's like anxiety. Yeah. And there's that person, or there's that emotion with the phone on, like sloth or something.
Boredom. That's boredom.
Boredom.
And then there's embarrassment. And then there's envy.
So those are, I have all those.
No, you should watch it and let me know, because I loved it. I thought it was a good movie. I went just the other day.
I was talking to Alyssa and we talked about like going to the movies alone, like going to events alone. I've never done that. Have you ever gone to movies alone?
No, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's just
alone.
people judge.
Also,
but I want to do it though one of these days. Just
you should. Why not? I like to talk though to people, so I feel like
it'd
that's
be creepy though. Inside Out too. This male.
That might not be a good one to start with.
Yeah.
I just feel like I like to chat with people about stuff. So like
during the movie.
Yeah, I like very quietly. And only if you
God, like that's envy. Like, is it actually like useful chatter though, or is it just
probably
how are you
not?
Doing? No.
I like to talk during all movies. I just like to talk. I'm a chatterbox. I don't shut up.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, you go ahead. Leave the podcast.
No, we're both chatterboxes. But...
We are. That's why we get along. But I've never done. I guess when I went to Cold Lake though, I did like some things by myself there because I didn't know anybody. So like it is. I do think there is a lot of like good that comes out of doing stuff by yourself. But I personally found it terrifying because I don't know, like you're like, what if everyone thinks I'm a loner? Or like, what am I gonna do when I'm like just sitting here? But I had a great time.
I guess it's just being comfortable being alone, like accepting you for who you are. Because that's a lot of, like, for me, I still struggle with that. Like you go into places like, oh, people are gonna think like I'm some sort of loner if I just go there by myself, I'm not talking to anyone. But then it's, why does it really matter what they think?
Right. And like the few times cause it's so busy there, but a few times I did go out, like I went to like this like cafe by like the lake and like took a book and like read and like I ended up like talking to this girl and we like actually became friends. Like I feel like you meet so many people or you just like spend time by yourself and that also is important. Like,
I find thinking as well, like going on those walks alone, running for me alone, is you come up with these ideas, like things that you were never aware of that is possible. Like there's a different set of choices that you can make, pathways. And when you are subject to accepting who you are, being alone, and there's less like mental friction and less anxiety, you're able to think of solutions instead of going looking around like, oh, I'm so alone. Like you're able to focus on your future and actually the moments and enjoy stuff around you instead of just worrying so much.
No, I completely agree. Like I used to hate going to the gym alone just because I feel like, I don't know, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I look silly, I'm sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like it always feels, I think, more comfortable when there's someone with you. But now I love going with friends, but I also feel like I love going alone because that's like your time by yourself where you can just like think and like, or even not have to think. You can just kind of like be present there, which is like, I think both of them have their like time and place, you know?
That's true. And the gym is just, do you listen to music there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
music?
Honestly, it changes. Like I will listen to like
country
some days, but I'll go from listening to like I don't even know, like Young Gravy, and then I'll listen to like James Bay. So like it literally just
Young Gravy.
Yeah, I love Young Gravy.
You listen to like the classics or his recent music?
Like a bit of both. I feel like more his old music, but I think it just depends on like my mood, you know? Sometimes it's a Taylor Swift day, sometimes it's like a country day. It just kind of depends on like how I'm feeling.
Yeah. What's kind of can you tell, like, how would you describe the different moods? Like when you listen to Young Gravy, what are you just feeling like a baller? Are you feeling like you're just like wanting to just take people's machines? Like
no, I'm not mean.
Yeah, no, you won't exactly do that. But what's kind of the inspiration towards your selection and the different types of music?
Probably just like my
I'm just looking at the time.
Oh, how long has it been?
It's been an hour.
We yapped so much. We just like to chit chat.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Probably just like I think it just depends like my mood of the day. Like when I listen to Young Gravy, I feel like I'm in a better mood and I'm like more happy and stuff. But like, and not even if I'm in a sad mood, but some days I just like listening to like slower music. It also depends if it's like leg day, then like usually it's like a higher intensity because I'm like, oh my God, dying. So I'm like, gotta pump myself up to get through this workout. But yeah, it kind of just depends on like what I'm in the mood for. What about you? Do you listen to podcasts at the gym? And you're like one of those?
I do. I probably listen to on average like 4 hours of podcasts per day.
Really?
Yeah.
At the gym though?
At the gym.
Does it not distract you when you're doing a workout?
It pushes me.
Really?
When somebody's talking about something I have no idea about, like some biochemistry chemist, scientist,
Yeah.
or a comedian that's just making me laugh, like whatever it is, they have something to say. I'm able to push myself because I just think of like the knowledge that they have, the discipline. I'm like, I can empower my mind much more while listening and pumping my body up. It's just, I don't know. I've just really acclimated to that type of routine. But do you ever listen to Tentation? Like
No,
sad
like I know
stuff?
you're talking about, but I don't think I have a single.
Okay, well, it's like
Song
like sad boy music, like just yeah. I don't really know what genre it would be, but it's just
Wait, what's one of his songs? Sing me one of his songs. I'm sure I know one of them.
I know so. But Jocelyn Flores, have you ever?
No, I don't think I feel like I know what you're talking about,
Hey,
but
Alexa.
I just can't think of it.
Wait, sorry. Hey Alexa, play Jocelyn Flores. And for the podcast, I have to clear this out because it's gonna copyright me.
We can't have that happening.
Yeah. That one.
I don't think I know this song. I
Hey,
know what
Alexa.
you're talking about, but
Hey Alexa, stop.
I just don't listen to like a ton of. Have you ever listened to an audiobook at the gym?
Oh, I have like over 10,000 hours worth of audiobooks like downloaded and
Dang.
listened to.
I just started listening to audiobooks at the gym, and it very depends on my
You
mood.
want my
But like,
Audible account? I got a lot of books.
what did you say? Do you want
My Audible account.
Yeah, sure. Pass it over.
Yeah. Actually, I listened to this like trilogy on what's it called? On this thriller romance.
Oh.
It's called the Tea Rose. You ever listen to that?
Tea Rose?
The Tea Rose, yeah.
Like tea?
The Tea Rose, yeah. Okay, this is
I love that I'm like Tea Rose, and you're like, yeah, the Tea Rose. No big deal.
That's all my books that I have. Like I had it for like 2-3 years, and I've been grinding that.
No kidding. Holy crap! This is
Not anymore
books.
because I focus more on podcasts.
It's fair.
But yeah.
Yeah, I really like that's interesting. I really like listening to audiobooks. Again, depends on my mood, but I feel like sometimes they're just
What audiobook are you listening to right now?
I just finished one a few actually okay, most of them like it's like fantasy books. Like it's a series I was like talking about earlier. Like I listened to like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I'm listening to like the third one right now of the series.
Will you swap different audiobooks and books? Like you don't start a book and then just focus on that book from page 1 to page wherever it ends.
Well, usually I do.
Okay.
Like usually I just focus on one book, but actually right now I guess I have one audiobook and one like book, but that's just because it's library, so it needs to go back soon, so I'm trying to get through it.
Yeah.
So it's not late.
Yeah. Do you go to the library? You don't purchase your books?
Not all of them, because I would be broke.
No, me too.
Right? It's like too much money.
This is the first time I've heard you reading books or listening to books.
I don't know why we never.
Yeah, we've never just brought that up.
Talked about. I don't know why. Because I grew up. We did not have cable TV. I'm way out in the state. I'm that far out, but I'm out in the country, and like we just didn't really have. Why are you looking at me like that? We had the Backyardigans though. That was a great show. I love that show. But we didn't really have my parents didn't buy cable TV. Like that just wasn't a thing we had. Like we had movies and stuff. But I think because of that, I just read so much, and my mom loved reading.
There we go. I think I didn't press. What the? No, what's wrong with this?
What is happening here?
There we go.
Is it okay?
Okay, there we go. Now, yeah.
First topic: Advin sleeps on the floor. You do not.
I do sleep on the floor. This is my room.
You do not sleep on this floor.
It's been on many podcasts before, and I have told many people. And what? Is it not focusing again?
I feel like you're just blind, respectfully.
Wait, I think it is focusing.
I think it's focusing.
Wait, well, I'm just like, I need to get LASIK.
This is actually, yeah. You just need to wear your glasses.
I need LASIK.
LASIK?
No, because like, it's clear when I put them on.
So that's actually how glasses work. It's crazy. Yeah. I know it's crazy. It's wild.
But
you do not. This is where you sleep on the floor. How is that comfy?
This is where I sleep on the floor. Yeah.
How is that comfy?
Oh no, I pull in a mattress.
Oh,
a mattress on the side.
Oh, I thought you might sleep on the floor.
Yeah, pretty much on the floor.
Well, how is it, like a foamy mattress or like a
Yeah,
mattress?
Like a foamy mattress.
Oh, where did your bed go, man?
I took it all out. Like I transformed my room into a studio.
You must have so much love for this podcast.
I do.
I love the passion.
I love this podcast. This podcast means the world to me.
I love the passion. You're crazy for that, but I love it.
Yeah. I had a treadmill in here previously.
Yeah.
Because I really loved running.
And now he's got a pull-up bar. So he just reps a few in between podcasts.
No, actually, do not use that pull-up bar because it needs to go on the door frame.
Why is it on the door frame? Every day you walk out.
No, it has to go in I don't think you can even put it on there.
Oh.
But you have to put it on other door frames.
It's just there. It's fake. I'm just kidding. No, it's just there it's just hanging out there. I see.
But yeah, do you do pull-ups?
No, I can do one chin up. So I'm trying to do one pull up right now.
You can do the assisted.
Oh yeah, those definitely. But I mean one by myself. We're working on it. My goal is to hit one pull up before in the next few months, and also 10 reps of 100 pounds with benching. That's the goal. That's what we're working on.
Oh wow! What's kind of your goal at the gym?
Those two.
Just those two?
No, I mean, well, I feel like I go to the gym mainly because I like it and I like to lift weights and stuff. But right now, those are my two that I'm working on. That's
so for debriefing, hey?
Should we debrief? I love some debriefing.
But I think working out is just I feel bad for the people that don't do it, hey? Because it's just so imperative.
Well, okay, no, because I feel like some people have different outlets.
Well, physical activity.
But some people don't like physical activity. Some people would rather sit and draw and do art. And if they love that, that's great.
Yeah, but wouldn't the mind wouldn't be as free, when you don't have that physical activity.
That is their thing, But I get what you're saying. I cannot imagine not going to the gym. I feel like I would be a basket case if I didn't. Because I would just be so antsy all the time.
You've done sports all your life, eh? Just running, Phoenix and soccer.
Phoenix, yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, imagine if you didn't have sports and you didn't have all that. I feel like as kids,
I would go crazy. Probably.
Yeah, probably would have gone crazy.
Just because I feel like I'm so antsy all the time. So also I wanted to say thank you for having the APJ reunion because that was a great time.
That was fun. An amazing time. Yeah, I put in so much work onto that.
I know you did. Work and money. Put a lot of
so much, but I think it's so worth it.
Thank you. I had a great time.
So worth it. So worth it. You just got to see all these people with their different ambitions and different lives that they're living, and it's truly magnificent to witness just how many different paths that people can take, and it's amazing. I'm truly thankful as to the people that did show up and the people that made the time, because 5 years out, very busy.
No, of course. And I understand some people just couldn't be there, but I did appreciate that there was a big group of us and it was nice. There was so many people there that I talked to that I have not talked to in 5 years, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was nice to catch up and hear someone's moving to London, crazy stuff like that. Just stuff I would never have
Yeah, Cassia, she was just on this podcast.
I know, she's moving to London.
Yeah.
Which is so exciting.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's amazing, and it's amazing to see the path that she's taken. And Tegan, she's a correctional officer now. She just got her certificate.
Right. Amazing.
It was amazing. It's amazing that she chose that path. That just aligns with what she wants to do. And here you are, you're a nurse, and then a lot of people are oh, I didn't know Ireland was doing that. Yeah. But it's just, for you, it's so normal because you've worked towards that.
Right.
But then for other people, it's so new because, you haven't seen them in a while, and it's boom. But within those 5 years, there was just the trials and tribulations of, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? And then you just keep going and you keep going, and eventually you make it.
Right. And I'm so glad you had one after 5 years, because at first I was like, 5 years. I feel like, it's only been 5 years, but also it's been 5 years and so much has happened to pretty much every person I talked to, whether it was, where they've traveled, what they're doing for work, where schooling, just there's so many things that have changed in their life. So it was so nice to just like catch up because I feel like 5 years, like a lot can happen in 5 years, you know?
A lot can happen. I mean, even in a year, in a month,
Mhm.
a day. But then it's
Yeah.
just,
A
but since you
second.
don't see the gradual change, because we all kind of, with middle school, we all grew up together and we get to see each other every single day. And then
Yeah.
there's the summer, and that's kind of the rapid growth, the longest time we go on without seeing each other. But then boom, 5 years. And it's just, where did all that time go?
I don't know, which is like
Yeah.
wild when you think about it. The fact, like, I was telling my parents, and they're like, have you already been graduating for 5 years? And I was like, yeah, which like just feels so weird. Like, I feel like I should still be in, not
Yeah.
really, but I'm like,
I read this, I listened to
young.
this one guy talk about how there's actually no adults.
We're all just kids.
Yeah, that we're all just kids. Because when you think about your time back when we were in elementary, we're looking at the middle school kids, the high school kids, and we're thinking, wow, it must be super cool to be in that stage because they know everything. They're grown up. They're taller. They can have girlfriends or boyfriends, or and then when you hit that stage, you're looking at the university kids and you go, wow, like look at them. They've got their lives together. They've already got their prerequisites. They've done Math 30-1. They've done Bio 30. Then when you're there, it's like, whoa, look at those people within their masters. Look at those people in their professions. And then now look at you, right?
Right? Like, no,
you're there.
I completely agree. Like, just thinking about back when I was like in high school, my sister was like just starting university. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine like ever being like at that point in my life and like having my life figured out and like going on this like path, you know what I mean? And now I'm like graduated and like literally in a career. And like, so I feel like it is so weird to like think, you know, when you're at that stage, like there's always a next stage that you're like, can't imagine doing that. And then you get there and you're like, oh, actually, I did it. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually done, you know?
Like once that stage comes, you're like, I've done it. And then when's the next? And you're constantly looking for that next goalpost. But then, yeah, it's fascinating to witness like that, like in retrospect, and finally now to be immersed in it by all my friends and family members who have gone through it, and we're all still continue to grow like every single day.
Every
And
day. There's something I
yeah.
feel like I learn or,
Yeah.
you know, like new every day.
Yeah. But one thing that is a tough pill to swallow though is you need to be able to grow with your friends. Like if you didn't go to university, or if you didn't put in the effort to drive, if you didn't graduate high school, you just be left behind, right? And that's no fault of the other people, but it's just we all grow. And I have witnessed too the people that haven't grown up, and it's like it's sad. But certainly life is not a race. It's more of a marathon. But
No, and I do think that everyone grows like at their own pace, you know, and sometimes you grow up with someone and sometimes you grow apart and sometimes people take longer to grow up, and that's okay. That's a part of life. But I do think it is interesting to see like as you grow up, how like the people that you've known forever like grow up, like where their life takes them. You know, because I feel like some of my friends, I never would have thought that they'd be doing that when I was like younger.
Yeah. But everybody's got their trajectory, and we just have to make the best out of it. And it's just, we take it day by day.
Day by day.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. How's, it's like, when you were there, who's kind of what shocked you the most about how people have changed?
Like, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to sum it up, I guess, but like just everyone was doing so many different things that I like never would have thought, or even maybe just how easy it was to talk to everyone. Like it's been 5 years, but also like when I saw Cassie, like we just started like chatting. Like I feel like it was so easy to like talk to her again, and like, you know, and like everyone else that I haven't seen in 5 years, it was just like, oh, like, you know, after like 5 years, it's still like,
it's still,
you know what
like
I
you
mean?
guys have kind of the same interests, and it was easy to talk to people.
Yeah, or maybe not in the same interest, but I feel like everyone that wanted to be there wanted to chat, and maybe that's why it was so much fun, because everyone that was there was like I went with like Mason and Morgan, right? Like and I don't think I spent half the night with them because I was talking to like so many different people, and I feel like that was the best part. Like everyone was intermingling and everyone was talking to like everyone, which was nice. It wasn't just like group cliques, you know?
Yeah, that's what I kind of envision that where people were intermingling and people were talking to each other, because I feel like that's kind of what we lacked at our high school, where people did form cliques, and
Yeah.
I was a part of it. Like, you didn't
right,
talk
like
to
any
certain people
high
because you
school.
just didn't associate with those people. But that event was very sobering, very accepting, and people did accept each other for who they are, and people were open to the new ideas and new adventures and the talks, and it was fascinating to see that these people 5 years down the road have done all these things in life, and now they're willing to share it, and they're willing to just network, and we're all having a good time, and people were dancing and having laughing and
I know.
singing.
You're right. I put on Hotel Motel and the dance floor got busy, so I take credit for that one.
Yeah.
But no, it was good.
Yeah, no, it was
super fun.
great. Yeah, definitely for the 10 years. I'll be hosting that too.
Oh, there's got to be, of course, we have to keep it going. But
yeah, and people will have kids by then.
Which is
a lot of
wild.
people will be
Maybe-
married. Some people will be divorced.
Not if they read your book.
Not if they read my book.
Not if they read your book. I think that's so funny.
But that's a good book, by the way.
Pardon, it's a good book.
If you want to hear what it's like to be a divorce attorney,
I feel like that would be so just like depressing.
It's really dramatic. Actually, the stories in this book are just insane. Really insane.
Is it like mainly stories that?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's kind of interesting.
Mainly stories, but then like advice as to why you should plan out a marriage, and he gives tools as to how to stay in the marriage.
Oh, and work through it.
Yeah, there's this one story where this guy had convinced the nanny to have a threesome with the wife.
Yeah.
And the wife was like, "Oh, I don't want to engage in that activity. Please, no." And then
he slept with the nanny.
No.
Oh no.
That's usually what he calls it, the nanny fascination. But like, this is another story. But usually that's what happens. But yeah, they have the threesome. The wife finally agreed, and what ends up happening was the wife and the nanny fall in love, and they leave the husband, and now they're battling the case, and they have like scheduled meetings. Yeah, and they have kids too, and so the kids now have two moms. And
oh my god, I'm gonna have to read the book, because that's some
stories
tea.
like that.
That's
just
dramatic.
Yeah, really dramatic. So you'll have a bunch of stories like that. That's where crazy. It's just whoa, like that's some real life.
like that's wild.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what people want to hear. Like when they think of like cool stories, it's like whoa.
Like people eat that up, they're like, oh my god, that's dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, rip the guy.
Yeah, no, what are you reading right now again?
The fantasy series, and then I'm reading this other it's a cute little like rom-com, like
fantasy rom-coms. Do you ever watch rom-com movies?
Yeah, I like rom-coms.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Oh, I don't know if I have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lose a Guy.
Have you ever heard of it?
I have heard of it, but I think it's too much of a chick flick for me.
No such thing. It's such a good movie. It's so funny.
Have you ever heard of 30 Days of Summer?
No. I don't think so.
It was with Gordon Levitt, something like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah. What about Love, Rosie?
That's my favorite movie, actually.
Really?
You asked me earlier. That's my favorite movie.
Really? It seems a bit unrealistic, though. How
very much.
How would they just fall in love? Like, how would the guy like wait that long?
None of it really but it's such a cute movie. It's probably one of my favorite movies.
Like, they were high school friends, or like
and then she gets pregnant, and then he goes to school, and then they both have like relationships.
Oh yeah, no, I remember watching them and going, wow, if only this were real.
Right, you're like, oh, I wish no. The book I'm reading right now, actually, she comes home. She's she writes like an advice column. It's a really good book. I can't remember what it's called though. She writes an advice column, and she gets promoted. She's gonna get promoted, so she comes home to tell her husband, gets home from work early. He's sleeping with the neighbor in the bed. Walks in on them. So then she kicks him out, and then it's kind of her going through that, and just kind of getting through that, and Then she like obviously meets this like firefighter, you know. As one does. Because she like lights his shit on fire, you know. Like she lights like the ex-husband's like stuff on fire because she's angry at him. But anyways, like long story short, it's just I don't know. I think it's like a cute book, and it talks about like her trying to get through that time. But yeah, if you like romance, you should read it. It's a good book.
Yeah, we'll have to open up a book club one of these days.
Yes, we should.
How do book clubs even work? Like, do
I don't
they
know,
just?
but I feel like the problem is like I would be so hard to get everyone to read the same book. Like
Well,
everyone's
it's like
interests are,
chapter by
so
chapter, right? Like, hey, everybody read this by this
That's true.
time, like 10 pages.
But what if you
But like 10 pages is a lot for people.
if you don't like the book, that's a lot. Like I don't like reading books. Like sci-fi is not my kind of books. I feel like I would struggle to get through a sci-fi book.
You should read the correct sci-fi, then you would like it.
Okay, sorry.
Like this book called The Red Rising is amazing.
Oh yeah, is it good?
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah, I'll give
sci-fi.
I'll give it a shot. I don't like reading. I like thrillers. I don't like horrors. You know, like Stephen King. No.
Like sometimes though, the horrors can be thrillers. Thrillers can be horrors. Like the feeling you get from them is like
That's
very
true.
similar. You get that like nervous kind of thrill, kind of scared feeling.
Like
right?
I like the like suspense, like thrill kind of feeling. I don't like
But-
the like.
I think you're thinking
I
of
don't know.
horror is just like cheap, like just scary, just because they're deformed or like murder. Where thrillers, you're on the edge of your seat, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess that's
Yeah. Sure.
that's kind of weird, but
Cool. I think that's
I think that's a long time we've been talking for.
an hour and 23 minutes.
I think we've been
Yeah.
yapping.
No, it's been good. I wish I'm gonna get LASIK.
Bro,
I
you just need
swear.
to put on the glasses.
To see. Yeah, no, it's fine. But
It's
earlier
clear.
it was
It
blurry
was blurry
earlier.
before though. You were not going crazy.
Why
it was
was
blurry
it
before.
blurry earlier?
But now it's good.
No, it's good.
You're too good. It's like
Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the Long Term Podcast, Ireland.
anytime. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. And as always, to everyone watching, listening, there is a place for you in this chaotic world. Never lose hope, strengthen your faith, and keep it long term. Peace.
Yeah.